Hello, my name is Bradley and I'm your host of The Internal Game. So, the gist of this whole thing is to not make anything bigger than you. I mean, literally, like it's about looking at things and realizing, man, you know what? No big deal. I'm in charge here. I am God having a human experience. This is what I want to experience. I don't need to resist self. I don't need to resist thoughts. I don't need to resist emotions or circumstances. And I can live lightly and go about my way, right? And there's a question that I get asked, like, how often do we go within? Right? How often? And really, there's about, I think, probably 2 times that you should go within. That's it, 2. One, when, like Neville says, you get a desire, right? You get a desire, and then you're like, okay, my only job now is to give myself a desire. B is if this is already true, then desire is there, right? Desire shows up after you give it to yourself. And the second one is when you see something unwanted that you don't want anymore, and you're like, or maybe never wanted, and you're like, okay, I don't want that, so I'm going to choose another way, right? That's it. You do not have to constantly, all day, every day, be obsessed with manifestation. You do not have to constantly, all day, be scared about a thought being manifested. You do not all day have to try to keep finding different ways to do things. You do not all day have to be like I was, and I was doing all those things, but like I was, and being like, oh, this has to be perfect. My morning has to be perfect, or like I'm gonna set myself up the rest of the day, or like if I reacted, I'm like, oh, I'm so stupid. Like I shouldn't have reacted. Like then I get mad at myself for reacting. It was just like this constant battle of like within self, this constant chaotic state of being of trying to perfect manifestation, trying to make sure I got all my desires, because of course I needed them, right? I had to have them because I fell for the illusion that once I got them, I was going to be okay finally. And once people started acting in certain ways, then I would finally feel safe, because that's why I wanted them to act different, because so I could finally feel safe, feel certain. So I was going to try to change their behavior with my thoughts, and I was going to try to change this with my thoughts, and I was constantly trying to change stuff outside, even though I was doing it internally by trying to say something a bit different about them. Like the reason being was because I wanted to have certainty. I wanted to feel safe. And when you can realize that you are here to have a human experience, and that comes with lots of things. It comes with emotions. It comes with different circumstances. It comes with growth. It comes with learning. It comes from loss. It comes with all that stuff. Right? And there's really nothing to fear. Like, you're still perfect. You're still God. You're still eternal. And really, there's nothing that can hurt you unless you kind of agree to it in your mind, right? So instead of resisting life, like constantly, yeah, granted, this stuff's coming from you, right? But like, there's just challenges and things sometimes, and there's things that are like, maybe that's not my favorite thing, but whatever, right? Instead of just constantly being obsessed with a person, constantly being obsessed with the manifestation, constantly being obsessed with the desire, constantly be obsessed with videos and books and being in a state of just constant chaos, you actually can realize that the only time that you have to go within is when you have a desire, or when something shows up that's unwanted. And ideally, if you've been hearing me talk, like, you can just accept the whatever's out there. Like, okay, if something's unwanted, right? Okay, accept it. Okay. Now this is right now, because that's all that matters. Right now I choose this. I'm going within. Now this is how it's going to be. That's it. You do not have to affirm a trillion times. Now, granted, when we first find out about this stuff, like, is there a lot more unwanted stuff out there? Yeah, right? Because we're like, oh shit, I've created a mess for myself, it seems like. And it may seem like you have to go within a little bit more, but no, that's not it. Or not react a little bit more. Yeah, of course, in the beginning, it's a little bit like that, for sure. But it still doesn't change the fact that you don't have to constantly live in imagination and ignore life. Constantly be trying to flip thoughts, constantly be being fearful and scared, and because that's what's actually creating like that state. That state is not a solid state. And like I've said before, even if you bring in affirmation or bring yourself with affirmations and scenes, if you're not solid, if you're not secure, if you're not confident, if you don't think you're the best option, if you don't know who you are, things like that, it's a matter of time before you start viewing things the same way you did before, and throwing assumptions on the same things you did, like the same way you did before, and then it's gone again. So state of being is king, for sure. But you can an easy way to even be in a good state is to let things be what they are. Fuck it. Like, it's things only have power over you when you say that they do, when you believe them. A thought is just a thought. The second you believe the thought, and it's something that you don't want, then all of a sudden you're fearful, right? But it's just a thought. The thought can't do it itself. You do it. A circumstance, same thing. It's just a circumstance. It's pretty meaningless. Yeah, you created it, so what? But now you're not going to react, and now you're not going to whatever. You're going to go within and say, okay, this is not something I want, but it is what it is. I don't need to resist it. I don't need to fight it because I'm in charge. I'm in control. And then you go within and make a different decision in the now, right now, because that's all that matters. I don't care if you've had 20 years of shitty assumptions. The second you start saying this is how it is now, it changes what's going to happen. And your only job is to not go against that. And then when you think about it again, oh, no, that's how it is now. This is how it is now. Nope, this is how it is now. That's it. To not resist the thought, to not resist the circumstance, to not resist a feeling. Like, it is that simple. The second you say it's done now, it is. You are that powerful. And the reason that you're not seeing these things like kind of coming fairly fast for you is because you are still focused and still putting your, quote unquote, giving your power away to something outside of you looking for it, or resisting. Like, cause think about that. When you resist something and you react and you're like, nope, I don't want this. Like, I don't want that. You're saying that this is true. This is happening. Like, nope, I don't want this. That means it's happening. If you're just like, oh, this doesn't matter. So what? Okay. This is how it is now. I did a one-on-one yesterday, and I said something. I think I ended up saying like, okay, this is what it is. So what? And she started laughing, and she was like, I've been saying that, and it's been helping. I was like, what? She's like, I've been saying, so what? And we were like joking about it, because like, seriously, so what? Oh, okay, something pops up that you don't like, so what? Like this, and she realized, like, that's what she was saying. She realized that when I say so what, it's not that powerful. It's not that big of a deal. So what? Like, nothing's bigger than you. That's like this is what we have to realize here. I don't care what it is. Nothing is bigger than you. The second you start fearing things is when you start, even though you're not messing up, but like, that's when things seem insurmountable. And you feel so separate from. And then you start obsessing over oh my God, I messed up. I have to do it right. I have to do this. I have to do that. I have to watch more videos. I have to do all this stuff. Oh my God, I feel so chaotic. Like, when you realize that there's nothing bigger than you, and you can literally say so what to something and it fucking leaves, you're gonna realize how powerful you are. But you actually have to say so what. Like, there does come a time where you have to actually make the change in the moment and say, actually, I'm not reacting to that, so what? I don't care. So what? It's already here. It's already created. I don't care. That was old stuff. Like, this is how it is now, and I'm gonna tell a different story now. This is how it is now, and that alone will change the direction of how things unfold. 100%. So you don't have to constantly like miss life in this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful place, because you're so stuck on manifestation. And so stuck, like, because you want to be in a stable place. Like, you want to be in a stable place at all times. You want to say, hey, like, I can enjoy myself, and when I think about desire, I can say, oh, it's done, and I can enjoy my day. When I see something I don't want, I can say, oh, okay, so what? And I can go within and say, this is how it is now, and then enjoy my day. Do the things I was gonna do, like focus on my goals, talk to my mom. Whatever you were gonna do. Like, just, you can go ahead and do it and not have this like constant need for trying to figure out how to manifest in the back of your mind. Like, this constant like cloud of, what's going on? Am I doing it right? Like, did I do, someone told me to do something a certain percentage of the time. Did I do it a certain percentage of the time? I don't think I did. Like, that's what the mind does. And when you're in a chaotic state of being, it even if you did one thing, you wish you did another. And if you did that thing, you'd wish you did the other. It's not stable. That's how, and that's what a mind and that place of that state of being does. You drop the idea of just trying to manifest and all this stuff all the time. Once you say it's done, it's done. And I'm not just making this shit up. Once you say, okay, this is how it is now, then that's all that matters. I don't care how long you've been doing something. If you say this is how it is now and it's done, and then you go about enjoying your day, that's all it would take. Again, your only job is to not go against this new end, right? But this stuff is a whole lot easier when you can get in a stable place, a stable state of being, and you can do that by saying things like, "So what?" When you see something, "So what? I don't care. I'm fucking me. I'm in charge here. This is how it is now." That's old stuff. This is how it is now. I don't care. I'm not even gonna flip. I'm not gonna trip on that. I don't care. I don't need to react. There it is. I accept it. So what? I don't care. This is how it is now. You don't need to fear a circumstance or even a thought. You get a thought. Okay, so it's a thought. So what? Like, it's not so much the thoughts that you get, it's the thoughts that you entertain that matter. A thought cannot hurt you at all. It can't. When you start entertaining it and making up little stories about it, and oh, what if this happens, and I project this really fearful scenario, then all of a sudden you start to suffer, right? But just a thought cannot hurt you. When you entertain it, it even then can't hurt you. But that's when you start to spiral and get chaotic and suffer. So what? It's a thought. So what? Go within. Oh, that's not how it is. That's not how it is for me. Nope. And then you say how it is. Boom. It is. It's done. Enjoy your day. An emotion. You get an intense emotion because you've been thinking about something or whatever. And you're like, okay, I don't need to run from this emotion. I don't need to fear it. It's just an emotion. Okay, I feel it. I feel it. Okay, so what? It's there. Okay, yep. And it goes. And then you go about enjoying your day. You do not let things be bigger than you because they are not. The only way things are real is if you say that they are. The only way things are scary is if you say that they are. You have the power. You actually can enjoy this day. You can enjoy the beauty of your surroundings, of hanging out with your friends, of focusing on your hobbies. You can drop SP for a little while. You can drop the need for whatever it is you try to manifest for a little while, because like the second that you say it's done, it's done. And the only reason you're not seeing these things is because you're continuously trying to focus on what you're doing right, what you're doing wrong, if you're doing something right, what you're doing wrong, video after video, book after book, constant state of chaos of trying to manipulate stuff. And oh, is that gonna manifest? Oh my gosh, I'm scared of this. Like, oh, circumstance in my face. Oh, what am I supposed to do? Like, nothing can hurt you. Nothing can hurt you. Nothing is bigger than you. That's the whole idea here, is to return to self, realize your power, and enjoy your life and your creations. Enjoy the surroundings, to do things that you like to do. And to be able to and to not make things bigger, that even when life presents a challenge or something seems challenging, you're like, okay, so what? Like, I'll handle it. Or if it's something that you just don't want, you're like, okay, so what? This is how it is now. Now. But your state of being is king, and these things are so much easier when you just get yourself in a solid state of being, and you do that by not believing everything that you think. You do that by just doubting stuff. Like, no, that's okay. So what? That's not true though. Yeah, it's a thought, but it's not true. Okay, so what? Unfavorable circumstance, right? Okay. Fair enough. That's not how it is now. So be it. Okay, this is how it is now. See how light that is? Like, but the second you're like, oh man, I must have work to do still, because that's showing up, and and what does this mean? And was I thinking stuff like this? Like, it's all chaotic, and it just keeps it all up. The second you do not take it seriously, I promise you this, it has to leave. And then you just say how it is now. That's it. The only times you need to go within, when you get a desire, give it to yourself. And when you see something that you don't want, you go within and say, nope, this is how it is now. You don't fight the outside. You just, oh, this is how it is now. And then you go about your day. Because once you say it's done, in the now, and you say this is how it's going to be now, and you choose your new outcome, choose your new whatever, in the now, and say this is how it is, and you go about your day, not resisting, not fighting everything, just enjoying yourself, it will come fast. Everything is you. Remember this. Everything is you. So if you're not seeing it, it's because you are keeping it over there. If it's right next to you, it's because you've allowed it to be. You've given it to yourself. You have not resisted. You have not fought everything and everyone. You have been, oh, okay, this is how it is. If you're in a loving relationship and it's harmonious, it's because of you. If you are in one that's toxic, it's because of you. If you are one that's in come and go, come and go. It's because of you. All you have to do is stop fighting everything and thinking that everything is bigger than you. That's it. And realize that, hey, listen, I'm gonna create my safety in here, my love in here, and then when I want something, I'm gonna say it's done. When I want something to be different, I'm gonna say, okay, I see it. Now it's like this, and it's done. Do not have to be missing life and all the greatness of the world just because you're obsessed with manifesting it and getting this desire because you want that desire now so you can feel better, when really it's an illusion that's not going to happen. And if anything, you not feeling good or within, and you not feeling complete within, that's what's being reflected. You wanting someone to be different and act different and do things like this different so you feel more certain and secure is not how this works. You have to feel certain and secure before they can do that. So enjoy your life. The more you enjoy your life, the lighter you feel, the more you realize that, like, oh, I'm in control of my state of being. And I can just tell a quick little story about how it is now, and it's going to show up. But in the meantime, I'm going to enjoy myself because it's already mine. No need to worry, no need to trip, no need to see an outcome and flip out because I'm in control of my state. Like, all that stuff. But you don't have to constantly be like, oh, I gotta change this, I gotta do this, I gotta do this. Just enjoy yourself. And if there's something that is not enjoyable, at least don't resist it. At least don't create problems of everything. And be living in the mind all the time about worried about this and should I do this and what does this mean? No, just do things. Focus on you. And when you get the thought about the desire, remind yourself that it's done. When you maybe still see something that's not unfavorable and it shows up, just remind yourself, no, it's not like that anymore. It's like this now. It's done. And go about your day. That's it. I promise. Don't make the newfound way of doing things your entire life. Like, don't make finding law of assumption your entire life. Don't let it create a bunch of fear for you. There's many people out there that don't know about any of this. They just live their life and live a cool life and focus on themselves and lots of shit happens for them. They have no idea about this. Many. Like, this is to use for intention, to like have different experiences, become something different that has to embody a different state that has different circumstances, to have a different experience. It's not to fear. It's not for you to spend your whole life obsessing about it. I promise. I did it. So that's all I got. Nothing's bigger than you. Don't forget to enjoy your life. Once you say it's done, it's done. All that matters is right now. It doesn't matter how long you've been doing something. If you remind yourself that it's done right now and you don't go against it, it's done. Enjoy yourself. Don't fight everything. Don't fight everyone. Don't fight yourself. Stop resisting stuff. Stop being scared of stuff. Nothing's bigger than you. That's all I got. See you soon.